Hello and welcome to the Body Guy Reviews, where good movies rise and bad ones burn. Like the new title? Great! We're all happy now with the title. So yeah, you're gonna see that new title from the title card from now on, instead of the plain one. But anyways, now into the video. So welcome back to the Saw Horror Series review. Because now we're going to talk about Saw 2. And if you remember how the last one went, then you would know about who the Jigsaw Killer is, that being John Kramer. So, the question is how will John play out? How will John, played by Tobin Bell, play out in the Spawn sequels? Well, let's not talk anymore, and let's dig into Saw 2 and show you how the Saw became bigger and badder. Okay, so the movie begins with a trap. No joke, we're starting off with a trap because this is Saw. And it'll happen a few times, and I'm not sure if it'll happen in the 10th installment, but rest for sure, we'll find out soon. And by soon, I mean the end of the month. Anyway, so the gentleman in the trap, Michael, who is in a trap where Jigsaw tells him that the reason why he's in it is because he's a snitch for some reason. So the trap he is wearing around his neck is called a Venus flytrap, which is a little resemblant to the reverse bear trap, except it closes on your face because once the timer runs out. And Billy shows him a footage of someone limping to his unconscious body, where he shows that the only way to get out was with a key. The problem is that it's under his eyeball. So, to be honest, y'all know some of y'all would be willing to go, but do it, but some of you wouldn't. Michael tried, but unfortunately, he failed. But if you want to see how he survived in the trap, you would have to go get the Saw 2 Flesh and Blood game to figure out. It's with you guys. So after the title card, we are introduced to our new protagonist, Detective Eric Matthews, who is picking up his son because he been doing another criminal shit again. Why? I kinda don't know, but him and his son Eric and his, oh my fucking god, I know I suck at talking, but hey, again, I have autism, so there's that. So Eric picks up his son Daniel after he committed a little bit of crime, and they had a little quarrel on the way to the car, which ended badly. And I know some of y'all father and son sometimes don't get along, which I don't blame you, because sometimes things will end bad between me and my dad, but we're not going to get into it personally because I really don't want to talk about it. Yeah. Anyways, so later that night, Eric tries to call his son, but no answer. Then he got a call that there's another crime scene, which has a pretty interesting transition where he goes from his bedroom straight to the crime scene. And yeah, you're gonna see a lot of transitions in this movie. Not too much, but just a bit. It's sometimes interesting, sometimes it's like, what? And such like that, but yeah. Anyway, and when he got to the crime scene, him and Detective Carey from Saw 1, if you remember, was looking at the Venus flytrap and the dead body of Michael. However, there was a no left for Eric saying, "Look closer, Detective Matthews," which he didn't know what he was talking about. Then later that night, while he was sleeping, he had a realization during his sleep that a metal that was on the Venus flytrap harness had a brand called Wilson Steel, and that place was actually where John is. So Carrie and this new cop named Officer Rigg, along with Eric, goes to the place. There was a small trap that they tried to go through, but two cops got electrocuted dead while one guy's ankle broken. Yeah. And they found John and they cuffed him, but even though he can't move because he got medical stuff on him, because of old people, he's old. And in a cocky way, Eric gets up to him and is like, "Hey, is this close enough?" Which, yeah, that shows Eric Matthews that he's either a good cop or a dickhead back corrupted cop. And John tells him that, and Eric was just gonna let them take him to jail, but John said that he has to stay here while he's busy with his own stuff. And they was wondering what does he mean. He just let them go see it in the form of the monitors, which they go check, and they realize that on the monitors, 4 or 5 monitors, I'm guessing 5 monitors, was showing footage of a few rooms. One of those rooms had a group of people, including Eric's son, Daniel. And obviously, Eric was pissed at John, and he asked him where he is, and he said he's in a safe place, and yeah. But remind you, for the young Saw fans, remember that word, because there's gonna be a funny kick in the pants for it. And I'm not gonna spoil it now, but just wait. But anyways, then we cut to to the room that the others are in, which is called the Trap Plot. Yes, which is a big game with a few other games within the big game, but yeah. The trap is called the Nerve Gas House Trap, which is full of Gus, a guy named Gus, a guy named Xavier, one named Abby, one black dude guy's named, one girl I think Maggie, I'm not sure, the other girl, I'm not sure. And finally, there's Amanda. Yes, you heard me right, Amanda from Saw 1, the first Bear Trap Lady. And yeah, she's not happy that she's right back in Jigsaw's games. And she tries looking for the tape recorder that they need to figure out what's going on, which she does within a wall. And Jigsaw gives them the rules that there's a few antidotes around the house, one side safe. And it gives us a few clues, like X marks the spot on what do they all have in common. Second is that the numbers are in the back of their mind. Third, the clues can be found over the rainbow. But even though y'all don't get it for Young Saw fans, I'll explain that part or later. And fourthly, the rules are that they got try getting antidotes. Otherwise, the nerve gas they're breathing inside the house, since they got there, will kill them in like 2 hours. But in 3 hours, the door will open. And I know some of you are going to say, "Oh, that's simple as that." Then again, and they're in the house is full of nerve gas. So what the fuck do you think? So why the fuck do you think they're going to survive within 3 hours with nerve gas in their system? But yeah, so then he found a note. So then Xavier found a note saying do not use the key to open the door, but like idiots that he and the other dude guts are, they used it. However, once Xavier unlocked the door, there was a revolver peeking through the magnum eye hole where, you know, those small windows where you stick your eye in and you're just trying to look in through the door. Yeah. And bang. You got shot right in the eyeball. And the black dude, Jonas, yes, that's his name. God damn it. Anyway, Jonas tries asking her what Amanda was going on, and they all talk about how they're in it because of Jigsaw, who is a serial killer, but Amanda says no, they gotta play by the rules, and such like that. Then cut back to Eric and the other. Then John tells him that he wants to do this little game of his own where if he can talk to him long enough, he'll find his son in a safe and secure state. And yeah. So he tries doing it, and Eric was kind of being uncomfortable and was talking about about why Jigsaw is being called Jigsaw and all. Talk about rehabilitation because that's the reason why John's doing this, just to make people cherish their life and have rehabilitation for their lives. And that's what I actually liked about Saw. It's because of rehabilitation. Yeah, some people, including yours truly, don't cherish our lives, but to me, I think we should. Killing, trying to force people to kill people and doing traps and such isn't a good idea to help people rehabilitate. Besides, you can't rehabilitate people by force and such like that. But hey, that's Jigsaw for real. So back to the plot, or trap plot. Everyone walks around the house and while trying to figure out how they're gonna, get out of there and such. Meanwhile, one of the girls, Laura, actually found a door to a basement, where this next trap, called the Furnace Trap, is for Abby. But some people misspell their name and call him Opie, which I don't blame him because it looks like it. Yeah, I know how to pronounce his name right, so thank you very fucking much. Anyways, so his game is that he has to get 2 antidotes. One is for Abby himself, for help, as a present for him for helping kidnap the others. And the other one, it can be for anybody. And it left the clue saying, once you're in hell, only the devil can help you out. And I'll get to that in a little bit. And Jones was like, why? What do you mean by kidnap the others? And Laura remembers that the last thing he saw before he woke up in the nerve gas house was Abby himself. So yes, the others are obviously pissed off because of his whole kidnapping little situation. But no, he's not like Zep from Saw 1. At least, I don't think. But yeah. So they made him go in there, and he does, but he knows that one of them is going to be for him since he's doing it, and it's his game people. The first one he was able to grab, but the other one, once he pulls on it hard enough, the door closes and fire starts coming in, and they can't get it open. So, and obviously he was panicking, but as he was coming up by the other end of the door, or he realized that the clue of me once you're in hell and only the devil can help you out was mean that there was a nozzle with the devil pointing at it saying twist. So had he twisted the nozzle, he could have stopped the fire from coming in. But he doesn't, but it's too late because he gets his legs burned. I kind of say half his body burned because, his head, because at the end his head and arm gets stick out by the window at the other end and he dies instantly. Which, by the way, the needles on his other hand, which are most likely already melted, that's the word. So then they go back right to Eric's test, and John goes on about how he's not a murderer, and Eric even mentions about how, if you shoot a gun at someone, saying you didn't kill someone, the gun did. Because basically that's what it is. That's what it's like. And such. Yeah, and John kind of gives out a reason why he's doing it, and that's because like during that whole inoperable tumor, which is a type of cancer for all the cancer survivor who knows about it a lot. So, and he got diagnosed by Dr. Gordon. However, it wasn't the cancer that made him the killer, or a jigsaw killer. He became one because he decided to commit suicide Groundhog Day style by driving off a cliff. To his amazement, he was actually alive, but had a pipe stuck in his torso. So somehow he pulled out and had rehabilitation and decided he wanted to live and make people feel the way on how he felt when he was in that type of situation. And yeah, I know it doesn't make sense, but come on, that's a freaking anything to think about John fucking Kramer. So anyways, Eric gets back to the trap bar. The gang gets out of the basement and they all try to find another room and such or something like that. Well, they all try to figure out a way to get out by asking Amanda about the reason why he was in the trap. Her first reason on the reason why she was in the reverse bear trap is because she was doing some heroin. The second time, this time, her reason on being in a trap is because she was killing herself, which I don't get why. Like, that doesn't even make sense on how she did fail rehabilitation since on one. She admits that John helped him and all. But then Xavier and Jonah found the nether room, which this next one is for Xavier himself. And all he has is like 4 minutes, I think, to get an antidote, to get a key to the door which will have the antidote. And where's the key? Well, just hang on, because it's gonna sound uncomfortable most people who's been at the doctor before. Anyway, so where was the key? Oh, nothing. It's in a pile of syringes. See? Yeah. Not a fun place to be in. Trust me, I would never, ever want to be in. Like what? I know, like, I hate needles, and I never wanted to do them as a kid, but nowadays I do get uncomfortable by it, but I'm man enough to do it nowadays. But like a pussy he is, Xavier makes Amanda do it since he's the buff one in the group. So yeah. And so Amanda digs until she finds the key. However, even though she found the key, Xavier fumbles for a second, and then the time runs out. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time Mr. Chuckling in a trap, you've seen someone who made someone... Well, you've seen someone nearly complete his test without being rehabilitated, which is stupid. So yeah. And he decided that they was on their own. Meanwhile, back with Carrie, Rig, and Matthews, they was trying to figure out how to get John to ask him where is Daniel. Then Carrie looked at his paperwork and thought, why not just rip up his paper person's his work and such. So Eric tries, but John wasn't having it. Just like, especially like that, like seriously, he was being she was just staring at him like a smart ass or something. But then after like he was finishing up tearing a little more, the tech team finally arrives for, which could have took like it felt like hours or something, I don't know. But yeah. However, John decided to get another realization in his own little game by looking into a drawer where the monitors are, and reveals that Daniel is with a bunch of people that Eric arrested in some crime scenes that was happening. And I'm switching headphones because I forgot. Because earlier I forgot to do it after I was done with work. But yeah. Anyways, and yeah, Eric was a little more devastated because he knows if they find out that Daniel is Eric's son, he's gonna get slaughtered. But who knows? Anyways, so while Xavier here walked back to the safe, he looks at Gus and slowly thought about the clues the numbers are in the back of their minds, and realized what John means is that the numbers are written on the back of their neck. As for what clue about what does he mean about the clues the orders can be found over the rainbow, is because the numbers were in colors of the rainbow. So you put them in the correct order, that's the combination. Even though we didn't see Xavier's or Amanda's or Daniel's numbers, and such, Xavier still does find a way. But Jonas randomly comes in, and it wasn't the best idea to go in, because while Jones was talking about his family, Xavier didn't care, so he decided and he was gonna kill him just to get the number on the back of his head. Yeah. But meanwhile, Laura, Amanda, Daniel, and the other girl was looking for the next trap. When Laura, before she died, she remembers the X marks the spot, which was on the picture frame, with a broken glass of the shape of an X. Behind that showed a picture of Eric and Daniel. And the pink shirted girl took it well. And by well, she left them on their own because they were on their own, because at this point she couldn't trust them because she's a bitch. As for Amanda, she didn't know what to believe or not. And yeah, again, Laura dies. So, but when Amanda found Jonah's dead body, she runs and grabs Daniel so they can both protect Xavier. So she can protect him from Xavier. Meanwhile, Xavier finds the body of Laura and Hobbies and checks the numbers on the back of their heads and such. And also finds a picture of Eric and Daniel. And yeah, he's pretty pissed. Anyways, and when Eric saw Amanda, Daniel, and being run away from Xavier, Eric decided to play the dirty cop way, and that is to beat the holy shit out of John, even breaking his fingers. And John was just kind of loving it because he knew that that's the Eric Matthews that he knew that he was and always has been, aside from rehabilitation. Meanwhile, the pink shirt girl named Addison, finally found her name, finds another trap, which was called the glass box trap. And this trap, apparently in the audio commentary version, was not meant for her. It was meant for the Gus guy that died from the shotgun eye hole from early in the movie. But it's too late because her stupid ass sticks her hand into the glass box, which the holes in there had razor blades, and she couldn't get her hands out of there, let alone grab the needle, because she accidentally spills it. And I know you're wondering, then what was Addison in the trap for, aside from Eric arresting her along with others that Daniel was with? I'll tell you in Saw 4 review, but trust me, you'll find out soon enough. And Xavier comes in and sees her that she's stuck, so she checked the number on her neck and leave her to die. Which she did because God knows whatever happened with her. Meanwhile, after Harry beat the shit out of John tells him game over and he'll take him to the house. So he and John left alone or walked to an elevator to find the Nurk's house. And meanwhile, the tech team finally found the location to where the feed is coming from. Meanwhile, Daniel and Amanda was holding the door down while Daniel and now trying to get killed by Xavier, who is basically being like Eric Andre and basically screaming. So then, yes, he was basically screaming open the door and such like that. However, they found they found out that the blood trail from Jonah's body is showing a door there from under the safe. So they moved the safe and try to remember how and it was locked. How the key that another key that Jonas found owns earlier in the movie, which I forgot to tell you, but it's now kind of important, was the one to unlock it. So they went into it while they're being chased by Xavier. Meanwhile, oh my god, there's a lot to talk about. Eric and John make it to the house. All of a sudden, John gives him the key, which is under his, like, that is taped to his hands for some reason. But yeah. Meanwhile, Matthew enters the house and Reagan and others go to found the house. But there is a slowly reveal, but I'll get to that in just a moment, but let's focus on Xavier, Amanda, and Daniel for right now. And they all run. And meanwhile, Daniel and Amanda was running into a familiar hallway, which then, surprise, they end up in the bathroom trap from the first Saw movie. Which, yes, has Adam's dead body, Zeb's dead body, Lawrence's cut off foot. And Daniel was probably passed out from the nerd gas house or something. Meanwhile, Xavier finally comes in and explains about how he's trying to find the number on the back of both of their necks. But Amanda tells him that he still doesn't know his own number and asks how will he get it if she doesn't tell him. Which is actually a clever meme because he was looking for everyone else's numbers on the back of their heads and didn't thought about his own. So while the Hello Zeppelin song was playing in the background, he cuts a part of his skin on the back of his neck. Which I don't know if he did get the number because it doesn't see due to all the blood and such. He puts it in his pocket, and Daniel wakes up out of nowhere, kicks him, and then sleds start with a rusty stall, killing him instantly. Meanwhile, for the final time, Detective Carey couldn't see what was going on the monitors, let alone see Rick, the officers, and Eric himself. But then the cops found on the room with some monitors and some VHS players. But once they hit pause, both monitors turned off. Because another kick in the pants is that the game was already over. But I know what you're wondering, then what about Eric? Well, yes, he is at the right place, just at the wrong time. And the reason why I mean is that the trap actually happened 2 days earlier, before Eric and others found the giant. But yeah, then he sees a hand in the bathtub and looks closely, but got too close and it was a pighead mask and that person makes him pass out. However, the timer that was next to the monitor is that back at Carrie's part of the set that people that was supposed to count down to the nerd gas house ran out and a safe door opened. And inside of it was Daniel himself. Because hey, like I said, John said he was in a safe place. again, because John said he was in a safe place. I know you was a cocky son of a bitch. Anyways, and at the end, and yes, we're at the end now. Eric finally wakes up, chained up to the bathroom, just like how Han was in Saw 1, and finds a tape next to him. Not John, not Billy or John, but Amanda herself. And it was slowly revealed that Amanda is now the apprentice to John, like student to him. And yeah, and showing that in the flashback when they show Amanda cutting herself, John was actually watching her and tells her that she needs to meet death in order to be reborn. Which I don't get what he means by that, but okay then. Anyway, then she also tells her that she will now carry on John's work after he dies, and he's his first test subject, and was now going to leave him in the room helpless and alone. She says game over, closes the door while Eric screams out that he's gonna kill her once he gets out of there and such. And the movie ends with John smiling in the car. And that's it. The movie is great, awesome, and actually my favorite one of the franchise because of how more and newer stuff they was doing to raise up the stakes for the future Saw movies. And yeah, so stay tuned for next time where I will review the Saw 3. Yeah, so thanks for watching, and here's the new end card. And I hope you like and comment and subscribe, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.